She was just a gate guard. Then a SEAL commander raised his hand, saluting her first. The base went silent. The next SUV wouldn't stop. A broken watch, an empty wallet, a dusty road. Stay with Emily Brown, because the salute was only the beginning. Morning came pale and thin. The base woke slow. Trucks coughed. Boots scraped concrete. The flag rope clicked like teeth in a breeze. Emily Brown stood at the gate. Not tall, not loud. Study in stillness. She checked IDs like a metronome. Exact. Even. No rush. No show. On her wrist, a broken watch. The glass was spidered near the 12. It had stopped once, years back at 0217. She kept it anyway. Her father's watch. He swore a watch that kept failing made you pay attention. You can't trust the tick, he said. So learn the day. She had learned the day. The light over Hangar C. The way the night shift dragged their heels. The crackle of the old radio a half-second before a new voice. She knew the base by rhythm, not time. Her wallet in the booth drawer was empty again. 2 receipts, 1 bus ticket. A fortune cookie slip that said, "Delay is its own decision." Rent had taken the rest. She had skipped coffee, which made her fingers steadier. Hunger for her was focus. She would eat later, or not. She always managed. Between the outer chain link and the inner barrier lay the dusty road. It came in off the highway, turned and ran straight to her. It was never fully clean. Even the street sweeper left a halo of grit. The road was a throat. What came through it might feed the base, or choke it. "Morning," she said to a recruit who fumbled his ID. His hand shook so hard he almost dropped it. His hair still had a barbershop line. His eyes had not yet learned how to lie. "You're fine," Emily said. "Breathe," he breathed. The scanner chimed. She waved him through. He mouthed thank you. He would forget her by noon. That was fine. The first anomaly came small. A sedan with a visitor decal looked away too long when she asked a simple question. "Where are you headed?" "Admin," he said. He said it like a guess. She sent him to secondary. The world did not end. The world never does in those moments. It just closes a door you didn't see. By 8, the light got harsh. Shadows hid under vehicles and refused to come out. Her supervisor called from the shack. "Heads up. VIP movement on the hour?" The phrase worked through the guards like caffeine. Back straightened. Jokes stopped at the punchline. Emily rolled her shoulders once. Not nerves. Alignment. The dusty road began to speak in low bass. Engines. The kind that cost more than a house. Black SUVs appeared in sequence. Sunlight shattering on their hoods. They moved like one body with too many eyes. She raised her hand. The lead vehicle slowed. Not enough. She raised the other hand. Now it stopped. 2 guards at the far lane pretended they were not watching her. She pretended she didn't notice. She noticed everything. "Good morning," she said to the driver. "IDs, please." A folder slid toward her. She opened it flat on the small shelf. She checked seals, holograms, watermarks, lamination edges. She compared a signature with another signature and found a tiny difference. The S in supply had a hook in one copy and a blunt tail in the other. Could be nothing. Could be everything. "Secondary," she said. Calm. Neutral. No apology. The driver blinked. The passenger stiffened. The rear door cracked open. From the second row, a man stepped down. Not young, not old. Shoulders like a door frame. Face like the idea of a storm. No rank on display. He didn't need display. "Commander." Someone breathed behind Emily. "Too loud." The man looked at Emily, not past her. His eyes were not looking for an excuse. They were looking for an answer. "Secondary," Emily repeated. Her voice stayed low. Her pulse did not. The man's mouth moved like he was going to speak. He didn't. He did something else instead. His hand rose, slow, deliberate, past his chest, past his mouth, to his brow. The base seemed to stop breathing as the SEAL commander saluted her first. And behind him, the second SUV in the convoy edged forward without waiting for her signal. The salute held for a beat that felt like a tear in fabric. Emily returned it before her training could think. The world resumed. "Thank you," the commander said. It was quiet. It traveled anyway. People 20 feet away heard it and didn't know how. "Secondary," Emily said again. "Do your job," he said. No exceptions. She watched his face for a flinch. There wasn't one. She nodded to the side lane. The driver rolled forward. The second SUV tried to roll with it. "Stop," Emily said to no one. To everyone, her palm cut the air. The second SUV slowed late. Not enough. Its left tire kissed the painted line of the pedestrian cross. Crosses were not to be kissed. Crosses were to be feared. Her foot hit the floor pedal that swung the steel bollards up. They came alive with a hiss. The SUV jolted to a freeze. Hood dipped. The guard in lane 3 swore under his breath and then looked at the ground like it had told him a joke. IDs, Emily said. The rear window was tinted darker than policy. She tapped the glass with her knuckle. Window down, it slid. A face appeared. Smooth. Too smooth for morning. The smile came before the eyes registered her. The smile didn't reach the eyes, window. All the way, she said. It obeyed. The rear bench was empty. The floor well wasn't. She saw a case. Olive drab. Government issue shape, not government issue latch. The latch was a different sheen. It had been replaced. Replaced means touched. Touched means traced. Out of the vehicle, please, she said. Ma'am, with respect, we're traveling with... She pointed over her shoulder. The commander was waiting beside his SUV like a statue that had once broken a door. He didn't intervene. He didn't blink. He watched her like a test you hope you get to take. Out, she repeated. The driver's jaw worked. He killed the engine. The passenger climbed out too fast. The case stayed put. It would not stay put long. Hands on the hood, she said. Spread your feet, they did. She nodded to the nearest guard. Gloves. She opened the rear door. The smell was wrong. Too much lemon. Lemon hides other things. She reached in, pinched the case handle, and felt a weight that didn't match the size. Heavy. Dense. Not paper. Not clothes, metal, or ceramic. Or guilt. She brought it out, set it edgewise on the asphalt, and flicked the new latch with a pen tip. It held until it didn't. The lid lifted. Inside. Maps. The base in layers. Access overlays. Entry points. The gate circled in red. Her booth circled in red again. Someone had circled her beneath the map's badges. Not one, many. Thick plastic. Real barcodes. Real lamination. Fake soles beneath the badges, a watch. The same model as her father's. Same crack line near the 12. Different strap. The second hand ticked. Wrong. It ticked backward. Her breath forgot how to work. She looked over her shoulder. The commander had moved closer without sound. He studied the case. He did not look surprised. He looked angry in the way glaciers move. Who packed this? Emily asked the driver. I don't know, he said. Wrong answer, she said. The radio on her hip crackled. Brown, you okay? Her supervisor asked. The question felt too small in her ear. Lock it down, she said. All lanes now. Sirens woke from sleep. Gates within gates descended like iron ideas. Boots came from everywhere. The driver's smooth face stopped being smooth. Ma'am, the passenger said. We can explain. You can try, she said. Later. A shadow fell across the open case. The commander knelt, touched the backward-ticking watch with one finger, then looked at Emily's wrist. He saw her crack. He understood it was the same crack. Who else knows about this gate? He asked her. Not them, her. What do you mean? She asked. Who knows you will stop them? He said. She closed the case with the softest of clicks. She felt the dusty road pushing heat up through the soles of her boots even though it was morning. Whoever circled that booth, she said, knew my watch would make me look twice. How? He asked. Because they had mine once, she said, and only then remembered the night she woke to a jimmied lock, a drawer open, a watch gone, and her father's voice on a voicemail she hadn't yet heard. Brown, the supervisor called. We've got another convoy, he said, breath tight. From the west gate. No manifest. They're diverting. Headed straight for you. Emily turned to the dusty road. For a moment, it wasn't a throat. It was a barrel. She raised her hand again, felt the broken watch bite her skin, and saw the lead SUV in the new convoy crest the turn, just as a figure in base fatigue stepped into her lane and whispered into her ear, If you lift those bollards, we die. The whisper smelled like overbrewed coffee and fear. Emily didn't lower her hand. She didn't raise it either. She left it in the air like a question. Name, she said. Gunnery Sergeant Hale, the figure said. EOD, the patch was right. The eyes were wired like they'd been awake for a week. Say it, Emily said. They wired the second axle, Hale said. Pressure trigger. If you stop it wrong, the weight shifts and we sweep up concrete, the commander finished, stepping to Hale's other side. How do you know? I took a call I shouldn't, Hale said. Private line. Said if I liked breathing, I'd open the outer lane. I told them to go to hell. Then I went looking. The axle is hot. I can't get under it without a lift. Emily tasted iron. She realized she'd bitten her lip. The dusty road held the new convoy like a fuse. The outer fence was already closing. Sirens ate the air like insects. Options, she said. Let it roll through to the blast pit, Hale said. No turns, no stops. We keep it steady. We empty the route. Then we bring the weight off with the pit cradle. That's 300 yards, Emily said. "310, Hale said. You got the spine for it? Yes, she said. She didn't ask if he did. The commander's radio chirped with a tone that wasn't base issue. He pressed a finger to his ear and said nothing. Listening, his jaw set. Brown, he said. You lead them. I'll clear the pit. Hale, you ride the bumper and keep eyes on the axle. No chatter unless you see the devil. He looked at Emily's wrist. The watch, he said. It's broken, she said. He nodded. So it won't tell you to hurry. It was absurd. It helped anyway. Emily stepped into the lane and made her body big. Bigger than a person should be in front of a black SUV with something ugly under it. She held both hands out. Palms low. The drivers knew that signal. Slow, follow. Do not think for yourself. The engine grumbled. The grill breathed heat on her shins. Hale slid to the side, eyes glued to the second axle like it was a mouth with teeth. The commander's voice cut on the shared net level as water. Route clear. Pit door opening. Do not stop. The base moved like one mind when it has to. People vanished from sidewalks. A forklift froze. A man in coveralls ran a hand through his hair and then put both hands in the air because he didn't know what else to do with them. Emily began to walk. 10 feet, 20, 40. The SUV matched her, steady. She felt the weight of its patience behind her. Sweat found her spine. Her empty wallet felt heavier than the case had. It was a stupid thought. It had weight because choices lived in it. Someone had tried to fill it once, years ago. A padded envelope with no return address. She'd handed it to the duty officer and watched the color drain out of his face. She had learned something then. Money always came with a clock. Her broken watch did not tick. It pressed a cold circle into her skin and reminded her of a slower thing. Duty is a road. You walk it until something better or worse turns you. They reached the halfway mark. The blast pit doors were opening. The commander was at the far end now, a hand on the control. He did not look at her. He looked at the axle. Eyes like nails. Steady, Hale said. Voice barely air. Don't you dare sneeze. The SUV behind the lead kissed the lane line. Emily didn't turn. Lane 2, hold, she said. She didn't raise her voice. Her words found the right ears. Tires thumped back into place. A gull cried because gulls cry at anything. Emily wanted to laugh and didn't. She took the last 12 steps. She never remembered them later. They blurred into a single thought. Keep moving. The pit cradle lifted like a steel hand out of a bright mouth. The lead vehicle nosed onto it. Hale swore once. Then once more softer. The weight settled. The cradle took it. The axle kissed steel. The trigger did not now, Hale said. Now we stop. The commander's thumb hit a red circle. The cradle locked. The SUV hung in the air by anger and bolts. EOD to the pit, Hale barked. His voice became a weapon. Nobody breathes unless I say. Emily stepped back. Her hands shook. She clasped them behind her so no one would see. The second SUV pulled up short well before the pit, as if it had new respect for gravity. She turned. She caught the driver's eye. He had the wrong kind of calm, a calm you get from rehearsing a lie. Out, she said. He smiled the smooth smile from earlier. Sure, he said. He opened the door and let a photograph fall to the ground the way you'd drop a candy wrapper. It skated to Emily's boot. She looked down. It was her. At the bus stop near her apartment. Same jacket, same bag, same broken watch. Someone had taken it yesterday. The edges were still warm from a printer. Who knows you? The commander had asked. The answer lay in cheap, glossy paper at her feet. The driver leaned in so only she could hear. Nice watch, he said. Shame about your father's other one. She felt cold from the inside out. Other one? She said. He nodded at the open case by the booth as if he could see through distance. We keep what we take, he said. Until we need to return it. He put his hands behind his head and smiled wider. Brown. The radio cracked. It was her supervisor. The pit team says the trigger housing has a name scratched in the metal. Emily didn't look away from the driver's eyes. What name? She asked. E. Brown. The voice said. The smooth smile became a knife. Ask him who etched it, the commander said in her ear. She did not ask. She stepped forward, and someone grabbed her wrist from behind, thumb grinding the broken watch into bone, and whispered, Don't say a word unless you want the second convoy to blow on my count. The hand on her wrist was small, nails clipped, no tremor. A woman's voice. Office calm. Walk, it said. Emily walked. The commander's shout cracked the air but didn't cross the space between them. Bodies moved to block lines of fire. Hale yelled something about arming distance and nobody argued with him. They crossed into the shadow behind the checkpoint shack. The smell of old paper lived there. The woman let go. She stood with her back to the cinder block as if walls could take sides. She wore base blues. The badge at her chest said procurement. The badge number said nothing. It was one digit off the pattern that lived in Emily's head. The woman had made a new badge and given herself a number that almost sang the right note. You, Emily said. Me, the woman said. Don't be dramatic. No one can hear us, and no one will come back here unless I scream. What do you want? Emily asked. She kept her voice shallow. Sound doesn't carry if you don't give it ribs. The woman took a slim envelope from her pocket. She didn't hand it over. She held it like a magic trick mid-trick. You have an empty wallet, she said. I know because I looked. She tilted her head toward the booth. You lock the drawer, but locks are a story we tell ourselves. Emily felt the heat rise into her face. Not shame, fury. You broke into my booth, she said. I broke a lot of things, the woman said, including a watch. We took it to see if you'd buy a new one. You didn't. You keep broken things. I respect that. It means you keep your word even when it fails you. The envelope bent. Cash whispered in it. 50 bills? 100? Enough to kill a month of fear. Not enough to buy back the ground under her feet. Take it, the woman said. Call this a correction. We meant to circle the other gate. You were a variable. Now you're a solution. You wave the convoy through. No secondary. We leave something in a place that doesn't matter. It goes thump and somebody writes a stern email. Emily stared at the envelope long enough to hear her father say nothing. He never told her what choice to make. He taught her to hear the choice and then live with it. No, she said. That's not the full offer, the woman said. She smiled like a nurse before a needle. You're in danger. We took pictures to be polite. We could do worse things, and we don't want to. We are practical. You marked the trigger with my name, Emily said. You wanted me to know. We wanted you to feel watched, the woman said. Fear makes people conventional. Conventional people wave SUVs through. Emily thought of the dusty road, how it took in everything without comment, how it gave back dust. She thought of her empty wallet, and how emptiness can tell the truth. You need less than you think. You need more than you admit. You think the commander saluted you because he was impressed, the woman said softly. He needed a story. A civilian hero, a brave stop. It draws eyes away from his side. That's what leaders do. They choose the camera angle. Emily let the words land. She watched them for a seam. Lies and truth share stitches. Then why are you here? She asked. If the story is working. Because a story is a fuse, the woman said. You light it and then you panic about the wind. She pushed the envelope forward. Take it, she said again. No one will blame you for taking it. They'll say you had bills. They'll say the base didn't pay you enough. You are already a symbol. Symbols are expensive. Emily reached out. She wasn't taking it. She was seeing it closer. Ink numbers. The top bill's corner had a tiny grease crescent. Some cook on some line had counted that stack with a thumb that had seen onions and heat. It's not the money, she said. It's what it buys you. It buys you a minute. I don't sell minutes. Everyone sells minutes, the woman said. They just use different receipts. A shout from the pit ripped the air in two. Hale. Found the switch housing? He yelled. It's nested. Somebody did homework. The woman flicked a glance toward the sound. In that glance, Emily saw it. Not fear, irritation. The timetable had shifted. The dusty road was sucking their plan out of shape. The woman sighed. New offer, she said. You walk 10 steps with me. We get in a maintenance cart. We exit the west fence. You don't come in tomorrow. You find a new gate somewhere else, and if I don't? Emily asked. The woman looked past Emily's shoulder. Her face brightened in a way that meant she had seen help. "Then you meet my friend," she said. A man rounded the shack. He wore base blues that had never seen a washer. He carried a toolbox. It was heavy enough to bend his wrist. Inside the toolbox was not a wrench. The woman softened her voice. "Don't make a scene," she said. "You will move. Or other people will." Emily could feel the broken watch under the stranger's thumbprint from a minute ago. It burned. She reached down and turned the crown. The second hand lurched a millimeter and then died again. It could still pretend. She looked at the man with the toolbox. "You don't need to do this," she said. He opened his mouth. He never got words out. A shadow filled the space between them and daylight. The commander's voice arrived before he did. It was not loud. It was final.